Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Well, hi, friend. Welcome back to another Put It Into Practice episode. I am excited to be in your earbuds this Saturday and share with you a few of my favorite self-help books. But before I dive or jump into this week's Put It Into Practice episode, I want to remind you of the gift that I have for you. It's a free ebook and it's titled 15 Easy Habits That Support Your Mental Health. And you can get it when you click the link in the show notes. So be sure to head over to the show notes, go ahead, fill out the form, and you can instantly download my 15 easy habits. And you will also get a self-care checklist in that ebook. Also, this is a great time to remind you that you can submit a question to have me answer on this podcast. Send me an email, which is lisa@lisamustard.com, or find me over on Instagram. And my handle over there is Lisa Mustard Podcaster. And if you send me a question, I will answer your question anonymously too, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's talk a little bit about what is a self-help book. I'm sure you guys know what a self-help book, but just to go over the definition, the official definition, it's a book that provides guidance, advice, and strategies for individuals to improve themselves and their lives in various areas such as mental health, relationships, personal growth, career, finance, and spirituality. Self-help books are designed to empower readers to take control of their lives, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and develop the skills and tools needed to achieve their goals and overcome personal challenges. Now, these books can range from being practical and straightforward to more philosophical and reflective books, just really depending on the author's perspective and the intended audience. They can also include exercises, worksheets, and other resources to help readers apply the ideas and concepts presented in their books to their own personal lives. Now, I don't believe that self-help books are a replacement for therapy. I think they can definitely enhance therapy for sure. And always ask your therapist for recommendations based on what you're working on in therapy. I also think it can work the other way around. I think that maybe you pick up a self-help book and you're looking to learn about yourself. And as you're reading that book, you might discover that, hey, I could really use some professional support in this area. So it might even be a catalyst for you to go to therapy. And if you are needing resources for how to find a therapist, don't forget, I always have those in the show notes of these Put It Into Practice episodes. But here are 3 books that they've taught me so much. I've learned so much about myself personally and professionally. And I just love recommending these books. So I thought I would share them with you guys on the podcast. So the first one is Man's Search for Meaning, which is a memoir and psychological analysis written by Viktor Frankl, who is a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. The book is really divided into 2 parts, and the first part describes Frankl's experiences in Nazi concentration camps, and the second part presents his theory of logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy that focuses on finding meaning and purpose in life. Now, he provides a harrowing, I can't say that word. He provides a harrowing account of his time in the concentration camps, where he endured extreme physical and psychological suffering. And despite these horrific circumstances, he actually found meaning and purpose in his life by helping other prisoners and holding on to his belief in the human capacity for goodness and compassion. In the second part of the book, Frankl presents his theory of logotherapy, which emphasizes the importance of finding meaning in one's life in order to overcome despair and suffering. He argues that humans have a fundamental need for meaning and that this need can be fulfilled through love, work, and the pursuit of values that transcend the self. Overall, I find that Man's Search for Meaning is a powerful and thought-provoking book that offers valuable insight into the human experience. His ability to find meaning and purpose in the face of unimaginable suffering is so inspiring, and his theory of logotherapy has been influential in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy. The book is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a reminder of the importance of finding meaning and purpose in our lives, even in the most difficult of circumstances. We actually did I guess you'd call it a book club at where I work a few years ago. And it was just such a great book club, brought together different people from different departments, and it was just amazing what that group and what we discussed. And I highly recommend this book. It's just, not only does it talk about his experiences in the Holocaust, but the fact that he was able to still find meaning in his life and in the world is just truly remarkable. Okay, so the next book that I love to recommend is Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos. It is also a self-help book that offers guidance on how to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. His writing is thought-provoking and engaging, and he draws on a wide range of sources. I mean, a wide range, from philosophy and religion to pulp culture and personal anecdotes. It can get quite deep at times, and I often found myself having to reread paragraphs to get the full understanding of what he was communicating. The book is divided into 12 different chapters, and each one focuses on a specific rule for living. And he uses these rules to explore topics such as responsibility, morality, and the meaning of life. And he provides practical advice for overcoming personal challenges and developing a sense of purpose. And his insights are grounded in a deep understanding of human psychology and behavior. I especially really appreciate his emphasis on personal responsibility and the importance of standing up for oneself in a very challenging world. And like I said, it is a personal growth and development book, but it also includes, some philosophy, psychology, and religion as well. I find it to be a powerful tool for overcoming personal challenges and developing a sense of purpose and meaning. It's just a really well written book. In fact, I'm going to give you a brief summary of the 12 rules. Number 1 is stand up straight with your shoulders back. This rule emphasizes the importance of good posture and body language in conveying confidence and assertiveness. Number 2, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. And this rule encourages individuals to prioritize their own well being, both physically and mentally, and to take responsibility for their own lives. Number 3, make friends with people who want the best for you. And this rule emphasizes the importance of surrounding oneself with positive and supportive people who share similar values and goals. Number 4, I think this is so important. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. And this rule discourages individuals from comparing themselves to others and instead encourages them to focus on their own personal growth and progress. Number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. And this rule emphasizes the importance of setting clear boundaries and expectations for children and teaching them to take responsibility for their actions. Number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. This rule encourages individuals to take responsibility for their own lives and to focus on improving themselves before criticizing others.
Are you thinking of starting a podcast this year? Or perhaps you're a seasoned podcaster and you're looking for someone to take the podcast production off your plate. If so, we are currently taking on new clients and would love to be your production partner of choice. My name is Chelsea Weaver, and I am the owner of Chelsea Weaver Podcasting. I offer podcast startup packages, audio and video editing, plus show notes, graphics, and reels. So consider us a one-stop shop for all your podcast needs. A little bit about me: I have over 5+ years of experience in audio and video production. I am an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom. I partner with other female veterans who are also experienced in podcast production and social media services. We'd love to chat with you about your podcasting and social media needs and can be reached at chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. That's CHELSEAWEAVER podcasting.com.
Number 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. And this rule encourages individuals to pursue activities and goals that are meaningful and purposeful, rather than simply seeking immediate gratification. Number 8, tell the truth or at least don't lie. This rule emphasizes the importance of honesty and integrity in building relationships and achieving personal growth. Number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. And this rule encourages individuals to approach conversations and interactions with an open mind and a willingness to learn from others. Number 10, be precise in your speech. This rule emphasizes the importance of clear and accurate communication in both personal and professional contexts. Number 11, do not bother children when they are skateboarding. And this rule encourages individuals to allow children to take risks and learn through experience while also providing appropriate guidance and support. And number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. This rule encourages individuals to appreciate the small moments of joy and beauty in life and to cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation in the world around them. I really like this book. To be quite honest with you guys, I haven't finished the whole thing. It's a big, thick book, and he really goes into depth and on philosophy, psychology, brings in a lot of Carl Jung. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, I find it to be incredible. Okay, so the last book I want to share with you, believe it or not, is one that really impacted me. Gosh, how many years ago is it now? When this book came out, I don't know. I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. It's been is right around the time I started the podcast is when I found this book, and it's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. And I actually interviewed Lori on the podcast. I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to hear me totally fangirl over one of my guests. I was so nervous and excited at the same time, but Lori is just a great human being, and she had so much to offer. Anyway, so I found this book when I was going through major burnout in my work, and I remember it clearly. I was visiting my mom up in Northern Virginia, and we were in this independent bookstore, and it's just the cutest little independent bookstore. And I can't think of the name now, but if I remember it, I'll put it in the show notes. You guys have to go look for it. But we were in this bookstore, and I looked at this book, and I saw that it was a memoir and self-help book that explores the world of therapy through the eyes of a therapist and her patients. And I opened it up and started reading the inside cover, and I just started to tear up and cry. And my mom looked at me and she goes, maybe you should read that book to kind of lighten the mood. And I bought that book, and I think I read it within, 36, 48 hours. I read it so quick, and it reminded me of why I got into this work to begin with. So I want to encourage you. First of all, if you're a therapist, I think this book is just great. If you are someone who's thinking about becoming a therapist, I think it's great. If you're someone who's just interested in the process of therapy, it's great for you as well, because she uses her own experiences as a therapist as well as the stories of her patients to provide a candid and compassionate look at the human experience. So it's divided into 4 sections, each of which focuses on a specific patient and their journey through therapy. And she uses these stories to explore themes such as grief, loss, relationships, and personal growth. And she offers practical advice for readers who may be struggling with similar issues. I found this book to be moving and informative all at the same time. Her insights and advice just resonated so deeply with me. I praise it. I praise it for its honesty, her vulnerability, her willingness to share her own struggles and doubts as a person and a therapist. So those are my 3 books: Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos by Dr. Jordan Peterson, who, by the way, is a psychologist, if you didn't know that. And then Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist. There you have it, you guys. I think that any of those books will be just, I don't know. I mean, will they resonate with you like they did for me? I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like they've helped me tremendously in not just my personal life, but in my professional life. And if you have a book recommendation, feel free to DM me on Instagram, or you can also send me an email, lisa@lisamustard.com. Also, remember, if you have a question you'd like me to answer, you can email me, you can DM me, and don't forget to grab your free ebook. And that link to grab it is in the show notes, and you will get my 15 easy habits that support your mental health. And you can get it, like I said, when you click the link in the show notes. Now, some people have reached out and asked me if I am able to provide therapy at this point in time. And I am only licensed to do therapy in South Carolina. So, and I have a full-time job. So I am not able right now to provide therapy, but I want to encourage you to grab my free ebook. And I also, if you want to do, what we could do is set up a 20-minute consultation for life coaching, because I can definitely do life coaching if that's something that you're curious to learn more about. I'm probably best suited for women 35 plus who are kind of going through that midlife I call it the midlife blues. But I also have helped people in millennials also, as they kind of try to figure out their next steps for their careers, their next steps in their relationships. So yeah, if that's something that you would like to kick around and pursue, you can book a 20-minute call with me. I will put that link in the show notes. Before we end this episode, it is important to stress that these episodes are not meant to take the place of any work you're doing with your therapist or doctor. In fact, run these ideas by your counselor or doctor before you act on them to make sure you're ready for them or even a fit for these suggestions. I know I tell you guys this, most episodes or each person is unique and their situation is unique. So please talk to your doctor before starting anything new I may be suggesting. And once again, the Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard and the information provided by me is solely intended for informational and entertainment purposes and is not a substitute for advice, diagnosis, or treatment regarding medical or mental health conditions. Although I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, the views expressed on this podcast and on my website and on any related content, social media, for example, should not be taken for medical or psychiatric advice. Always consult with your doctor before making any decisions related to your physical or mental health. Thanks for having me in your earbuds again this week, you guys. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon. The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is part of the Psychcraft network of podcasters. The Psychcraft network is a collaboration of independent podcasters focused on helping people live more meaningful and productive lives. This network of podcasts provides both self-help and business-building resources to create an impact in the world and change people's lives. You can learn more over at psychcraftnetwork.com. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.